What up, world? Welcome to a new episode of Brand New Show. As you know, I am Brand New, and like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere, Brand New Show. Social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, real Brand New Show. That's REAL, Brand New Show. Facebook, the Brand New Show, and of course, TikTok, Brand New Show. Go follow me on all of those social media platforms. I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it if you did. Really, where you go is the YouTube channel, man. Brand New Show YouTube channel. Brand New Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, comment, like the shorts, like the vids. All helps in the algorithm if you do. If you do. Get into it, man. This is the debate. Yeah. I've been talking about it. I've been telling y'all. It don't happen. This is artist versus artist. Former MMG brothers. Now, boom, boom, boom. Going one on one. Um, Shout out to my fam. I saw them actually do this debate on their TikTok. So shout out to y'all. Saw this. But I'm gonna do it for real today. So let's get to it, man. This is Wale versus Meek Mill. I've been telling y'all I was gonna do this debate for a minute. People just didn't understand. But this is definitely going to go down tonight. If you don't know, I do artist versus artist, the debates. If you don't know, I do my debates. Comes to artist versus artist. Six, six, I tell you, six topics. Six topics, man. Six of them. I will go down the line, and of course, they from the first one is, of course, debut albums. Then I go to debut singles. Then I go to my favorite albums, my favorites, their highest charting singles, or the most streamed, or whatever the case may be. And then I go to my favorite singles, and the sixth one, if we're still a little bit, right there in the kind of in the conversation there, the sixth one is something I picked. So for this one, I picked basically their best verses with each other, when each other's on the song with each other. So that's the sixth one. So prepare for that. But this is artist versus artist. This is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to this. It is Wale, DC versus Meek Millie, Philadelphia. Let's get into it, man. Let's do this shit. First round of the debate. It is debut album. For Wale, it is Attention Deficit. For Meek Mill, it is Dreams and Nightmares. Let's get into it, man. Attention Deficit. One, one of the best debut records came out in 2009. So I say Wale is one of the leaders of the new school of hip hop that a lot of people don't give enough credit for. I mean, when you kind of looked at the 2009, class of guys coming in, Wale, Drake, J. Cole, Wiz Khalifa, Currency, even though Currency had been around for a while, Big Crit. Wale was one of the first ones. I said this when I did his artist breakdown and everything. Wale was one of the first ones truly to drop an album, to get major label support. And Attention Deficit was one of those albums. I mean, you look at the projects that he dropped. Look at the album that he dropped, I should say. On his body of work, you had Diary, you had Chillin' with him and Lady Gaga, you had Chillin' with Lady Gaga, you had um Pretty Girls with him and Gucci, you had yeah, you got some hits off this motherfucker. But you had a lot of songs off the A Beautiful Bliss with him and J. Cole. You had a lot of songs off of this body of work by Wale that was very dope, very, very incredible. Um, so yeah. Um, and on the other side was Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares, which is probably, I said this numerous times, probably one of the greatest debut rap albums of all time. I think a lot of people don't give it its proper credit or its proper respect because people try to play Meek Mill like a joke. But Dreams and Nightmares is one of the best fucking rap albums, debut rap albums that I ever purchased and I ever got. He ushered in that 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 time period of hip hop for you know mixtape artists that was kind of coming into the mainstream. Dream Chasers and all that. But he had the Dream Chasers mixtape, then the Dream Chasers 2. So when Dreams and Nightmares finally came out, he had a lot of fucking momentum. I mean, Meek Mill had a ton of momentum by the time he dropped Dreams and Nightmares. Dreams and Nightmares, to me, I think is considered probably one of his greatest bodies of work. Like I said, I think Meek Mill's had like 3, 4. I'm gonna be honest, Meek Mill has got a good album run. Like if you actually pay attention to his album run, that shit is actually really fucking good. Dreams and Nightmares. What was the other one? Dreams and Nightmares, and you had I forgot the name of the other one. It was like Dreams something. Forgot the name of that one. But then you had I want to say DC 4, which was actually a mixtape. But DC 4. Then you had what else you had? You had shit. You had what's my name of that fucking project? Wins and Losses. Then you had Champions. Like, bro, like yeah, Meek had a good album run. Like a really good album run. So yeah, I'm not too shocked by how great Meek Mill's album run has been. But Dreams and Nightmares was the one that kind of kicked it the fuck off. Yeah. So Dreams and Nightmares, of course, obviously the title track, Dreams and Nightmares. But then you had Amen with him and Drake and Jeremiah. You had also what else you had Amen. You had Believe It with him and Rick Ross. You had oh shit. You had Maybach Curtains with him, Nas, Ross, and John Legend. You had Layup with Wale, Trey Songz and Rick Ross. You had some bangers on that motherfucker. Watch who you're around with Mary J. Blige. Yeah, bro. That body of work is crazy. So who takes it? The first round, who takes the first round in this debate? Who takes the first round? And if you ask me, who takes the first round, it is Dreams and Nightmares. I think as good as Wale's first album was, and it was dope as shit, Wale didn't catch fire until his second one, which was Maybach Music. When he was with Maybach Music, which I'll talk about in a minute, he didn't really catch fire until then. But by the time when Dreams and Nightmares came out, like I said, Meek Mill was a made fucking man by the time Dreams and Nightmares came out. He just needed to execute the album. And once the album came out, it just solidified him even further in the conversation of this guy he's the one. He got it. So yeah. Next round. Debut singles. For Meek is I'm a Boss, featuring Rick Ross. For Wale, it is Nike Boots. I'm a Boss. This fucking song was a banger. I mean, Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. This song was a certified banger. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. Yeah, I'm a boss. I'm a boss. Yeah. I finish shots. I call my calls. What? Man, it's something, bro. That beat. Oh my God. Then I be riding through my old hood, but I'm in my new whip. Same old attitude, but I never. Woo! They say they gonna ride me. They don't ever do shit. Yeah. Because they know that's the reason they gonna end up on that news clip. Yeah, man, and I'm a boss. Oh, nigga, that bitch a bagger. Oh shit. Yeah, that I'm a boss. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That I'm a boss. Oh, nigga. Yeah, man. That I'm a boss hit, man. Oh shit. That Nike boots? No? By Wale? I told y'all, man. Nike boots reminded me of Mikey Rocks by the Cool Kids. Like that bitch was a banger, bro. Like Nike boots was the shit, dog. Like I don't think people understand. Nike boots was that fucking project. You hear me? Like, yeah, man. Nike boots was a hit, bro. It put me on a Wale, bro. Like it really was like the first song I ever heard by this dude. I'm like, he got something. I was like, he got something. And because of that, Nike boots. Stop saying, I know. People gonna sit there, what the fuck, yo, where you going? The reason why I'm going with Nike boots is as hard as them, I'm a boss is. Wale did that shit without a feature, and that shit went everywhere. I'm a boss is a dope ass fucking song, but Meek had a lot of fanfare, and then you had the Dream Chasers mixtape where Rick Ross is on it, and the song just pops. And so it's kind of hard for me to not respect that in a sense. But I feel like him doing it on his own, while they doing it on his own, and getting it, you know, where it is. Yeah, I gotta go with Nike boots, man. Just the respect of that. So yeah. Next, it is my favorite album. My favorite albums from these guys. For Wale, it is Ambition. For Dreams and Nightmares, or for Meek, it's Dreams and Nightmares. Ambition. I did the Wale, you know, album versus album just recently, and I talked about why Ambition to me was one of the best bodies of work that Wale put out. Like I said, Maybach Music, his rise at that time with Maybach Music was huge. Um, on Ambition, you got of course the title track Ambition with Meek and Ross, but Lotus Flower Bomb, slight work with him and Big Sean, Sabotage with him and Lloyd. Yeah, man. Wale got some bangers on that fucking Ambition project, man. Like that album is fire, bro. Like Ambition is the shit, Jeremy. So, but Dreams and Nightmares by Meek. Whoo, man. Dreams and Nightmares by Meek is just different, bro. It's different, man, and that's why I'm going with Dreams and Nightmares. All right, their highest charting singles, their best streamed single. For Meek, it is 24/7 featuring LMA. For Wale, it is Watching Us featuring Leon Thomas. 24/7 is dope as fuck. I remember when this song first came out. I remember getting champions. I remember this song becoming a big hit. I remember everything about this. This shit solidified it. It became one of the biggest songs in that boy discography. Of course, you had Going Bad with him and Drake also on this body of work. Champions is a dope ass body of work. Anybody that doesn't think that, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. But 24/7 with Meek and LMA is dope as shit. It is a dope ass fucking song. I just don't think it's touching Watching Us, which sounds insane. like if I've had enough time to listen to 24/7. I kind of got tired of it after a while. I don't get tired of hearing Watching Us, which sounds insane. So I think Wale and Leon Thomas, like that song, of course, taken closer, you know, which is a dope ass old school single, man. So yeah, I got Watching Us by by uh, by Wale. Now my favorite song by these two. For me, Wale is Diary featuring Marsha Ambrosius. For Meek Mill is Traumatized of Dreams and Nightmares. I fuck with Diary, man. I fuck with Diary heavy, bro. I think Diary is one of the best songs Wale's ever done. I really do. I think his Diary is his best song he's ever done. Um, I still listen to this song, and I truly love this song. I got this song. This girl played it for me on a school bus when we were going to school, and ever since then, I just love this song. I don't know what it is. I had a crush on her, so it's like, yeah, obviously, like, yeah, like, your crush play you a song, you're like, yeah, yeah, like, yeah, yeah. So, so it's like, yeah. Um, so when I heard it, I'm like, man, this song is dope as fuck. And Wale killed it, man. Wale killed it. Marsha Ambrosius is one of the best singers to ever do it, bro. I don't think she gets enough credit for how great she is as a singer. Um, and as a writer, like God Almighty, Traumatized by Meek though is a hit, a banger, a fucking certified punch you in the mouth smash record. But it's not better than Diary, and that's kind of the problem. Like that's kind of the problem. Last one, like I said, the sixth one is always my choice. It's always now. Usually, it's probably the second album that I liked, or it's usually the second highest charted single, my second favorite song. It's something I've done. So for me, it was kind of like a verse. For me, it was like the verses, and I was kind of like, excuse me, do I want to go Meek and Rick Ross or Wale and Rick Ross? And I couldn't really think of any Wale verses that I felt like Wale and Ross had together. Had a song where Wale and Ross kind of like just killed it together. I haven't heard too many. I've heard a lot from Ross and Meek. I've never heard too many from Wale and Rick Ross. So that didn't make sense. So for me, it was kind of like, okay, so what do I do? Because I do want to do a verse. I just got to figure it out. And for me, it went to, well, what about the songs that they have been on together? And for me, obviously, if we talk about Meek Mill being on a song with Wale, it's Ambition. I think Meek Mill's verse on Ambition or Wale's Ambition is kind of obvious. It's a time capsule. Like everybody remembers where you were when you first heard that verse. Everybody remembers where you were when you first heard that on what he said on the ground. Oh, what the fuck he said? He said, shit, I forgot the damn verse now. But you remember where you were when you first heard it. Trying to rap it and now remember it at the same time, it's not gonna work. Um, Only hope I have a cellar dope. It sounds hard because it sounds harder than the cellar flow. My mama told me used to never tell them folks. I used to what he said. I used to look up what I was raised by the Glock 9. No religion. I was getting saved by that Glock 9. By the minute, I was getting paid like the hotline. So revolving, fiends was calling. But we was that kind, well connected, well respected, and well protected. Yeah. It get my message. There was no signal when we was sexing. Now I use my mind as a weapon. Yeah, give every chance you can chance. What did he say? So throw that pass. I'll be the quarterback. Me and Falon, MMG gonna burn that water back. Yeah. Meek ain't that. Motherfucker ain't that shit. Lord, I nigga killed that verse. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Lord have mercy. Meek killed that verse. Holy shit. And for me, for Wale, it's pandemonium. Like people forget that first self-made project was dope as shit. And Pandemonium, I mean, Meek killed Pandemonium too, but Wale verse on that motherfucker was just different. Whole line from my spin-off. What do you say? Whole line from my spin-off. Oh shit. We can't see your album coming. That shit like a sucker punch. Have a dinner, have a lunch, have a meal, have a lunch, some shit like that. Shitting on these niggas like I need the pen. Always on some new shit, CNN, some shit, bro. like he killed that Pandemonium verse. Like that shit was crazy, bro. Who wins though in that sense? And gotta go with Ambition. I'm sorry, dog. I gotta go with Ambition. Meek actually started that verse, and the way he started that, I was kind of like, damn, Wale. I got like, damn, Wale, bro, this nigga just killed you on your own song, bro. Yeah, yeah. So as I'm looking at the board, it is 3-3. Wale got three, Meek got three. So that being said, because it's 3-3, I have to break the tiebreaker. I feel like both of these dudes have had an interesting career. Like I think when you look at the careers of both of these dudes, I think a lot of people would sit here and say, obviously, because of how we live in the present, Wale is having a better career than Meek Mill. And I think that's been a very well obviously seen thing. Wale has had a way better career than Meek Mill, right? If you're speaking on the nonsense, Meek has went through a lot of shit personally, obviously being dragged in a lot of shit that he shouldn't have been dragged in. He shouldn't have put himself into. And if he would have just stayed the course and just stuck to his music and stuck to what the fuck he was doing, he probably would be considered one of the best rappers of this era. But instead, we're not having that conversation about Wale. I loved seeing Wale get the credit and the love that he had deserved for a very long time. That boy been killing shit for a minute. To see him get that love and respect from the album that he just dropped is dope as shit. I think Wale is one of the best rappers to ever do it. He has ushered, like I said, he ushered in this new era with the Drakes and the Big Sean's, J. Cole's, Kendrick's, Wiz Khalifa's, Big Crits. He ushered in this era. He ushered in this era, man. And I feel like a lot of people don't give him his proper credit and respect for it. So to see him get it finally was awesome. Was awesome. And I'm happy he did. But I feel like when they were in MMG together, it was obvious who was one and who was two. As much as Wale was great at the lyrical ability and Wale was the man, Meek Mill was the actual man. He was the MMG guy. He was the star of MMG. He was the star of Maybach Music. And for a good stretch of time, there was a real case that you could have made that Meek Mill was probably top 4 or 5. And Wale was at least top 10, 15. When Meek had it, Meek had it. And I don't think people understand when Meek had it, Meek had it. Meek is one of the best rappers for a good stretch of time. And I think people again don't give him the proper credit and respect because of how his career has gone. But it doesn't change the facts. And the facts are Meek for a good bit of time was the best rapper in a sense of how the industry was painted. Meek was one of the best. And it wasn't even close. Like I said, you could sit on here, you could talk down, you could talk reckless about Meek now. But when Meek was that dude and Meek was that nigga, there was no conversation needed. Wale was 2 and Meek was 1. And it wasn't even close. And as great as Wale was, Meek was better. And that is why I'm going with Meek. Because again, this isn't about the lyrical shit. Artistry. Meek put out a lot of, not saying Wale didn't. Wale put out some really good bodies of work. But when Meek put out his, you can feel the energy. You can feel people being excited for Meek. When Meek came back out of prison and he dropped Champions, that was a moment. Like, it wasn't a joke. That was a real fucking moment. And that is why I'm going with Meek. I think the moment that people don't understand, like, Meek was that dude, bro. Meek was that fucking dude, bro. And that is why I'm going with Meek Mill tonight. And artist versus artist. Next, artist versus artist. About time we do it. It's time to do it. I did one. I need to do another. And that is why I'm doing it. And that is Trey Songz. Trey Songz versus Neo. No, I think Trey Songz versus T-Pain would be better. I'm going to Trey Songz and T-Pain. Yeah, it's going to be Trey Songz and T-Pain. I thought about it. It's going to be Trey Songz and T-Pain. That's what the fuck I'm going to do. That's what we doing. That's what the fuck I'm going to do. Trey Songz versus T-Pain is the next versus. Artist versus artist. It's going down. That's the next debate. Artist versus artist. Trey Songz versus T-Pain. Get fucking ready. Till next time, I am Brandon Janeau. This is debate. Meek Mill takes it tonight. Go listen to both of these artists and enjoy. Peace.